Okay, so today we are going to install the floor lights. Now this is an optional thing. On the 9th gen Civics you can get this dealer installed. This kit runs about 80 bucks, but it's usually much more expensive to have it done at the dealer. So I am going to show you how to do it. The instructions are very easy. There's not much that you have to do, but I'll walk you through step by step on how to do it. And again, do this at your own risk. I'm not a professionally trained mechanic or anything, so if you screw something up, don't blame me. First things first, you're going to want to remove everything from your glove box, because we are going to be removing the entire glove box. First step you're going to need to do is take everything out of your glove box, because the glove box is actually going to be coming completely out of the car. So take the time, get all your junk out, store it somewhere neat so you don't lose it or whatever. Always keep spare bulbs, you never know. But once we take all the junk out, I'll show you underneath where the two screws come out. Alright, so the first step in taking the glove box out, there's a screw here, one on the other side. Just a Phillips head, or you could use like an 8mm. Once those are out, just pull that out like that. So next step is we're going to need to take this center part out. There's two screws in here. However, the shifter's in the way. If you're like me and you don't want to hear that the entire time, because you can put it in gear, but you won't be able to take the key out, and it'll just be dinging the whole time. So instead of doing that, pop out this little guy right here. Just a flathead screwdriver will pop it out, and then you can just put your key in there, and this is the shift lock release. It's going to take two hands, so give me a second. And now you're in gear with no dinging. So going from there, we're going to be removing these two screws right up here, if you can see them. 1, 2. So let's go ahead and get those. Doing this kind of blind, so it's very hard to see these screws under here.
Two hours later.
Alright, so you're going to need a little stubby screwdriver for this side, because it's an absolute pain to get out. The other side came out no problem. So, two screws are out. From there, it's just clipped in place. It's probably going to feel like you're going to break it, but it's just clipped in place. Now, if you have an EXL, you're going to have heated seat buttons here. Since mine's the base, it does not have the heated seat buttons, so be careful if you're doing this on an EXL or touring model or whatever the top line is, you're going to have your two plugs. You're going to have to unplug those. And then that's going to give us access under here to run the wiring harness across to this side, because it's just two lights, one on the driver's footwell, one on the passenger. So now we're going to have to take this side off. So if you got change in here, you're going to want to get all that out of the way, and then I will come back and we'll be under here, and I'll show you how to take these panels off. Okay, so for this side, it appears that it's just clipped in place, and it is. So you just pull these clips off. Carefully, you don't want to break anything. There it goes. And in this one, or in my car, you do have the traction control button. If you have fog lights, you're going to have a fog light button over here. So you'll want to unplug that, and like everything else, set it aside. Get rid of my charging cable too for my phone. That's just going to be in the way. Alright, so sorry about all the noise. In here is where the harness is going to connect. Basically, you unplug, I believe it's the Econ button, if I'm right in saying from the instructions. Sorry about that. So that is the harness there. So let me go get the lighting kit, and I'll be right back. This is the harness that comes with the kit. Basically all the kit is literally a harness to attach this plug, which is your Econ switch light, to underside of the dash here and underside of the dash there. That's literally all it is. This is one of your plugs for the lights. This is your other plug. So basically, this is the driver's side. Comes up here and plugs in here. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. And then this particular harness will then plug back into the Econ light back there. So what I'm going to do is test it before I completely install it. Don't mind the fireworks, this is New Year's Eve. that's plugged in. These are your LEDs here. Like I said, there's 2 of them. In this case, they're blue because I have a base model. If you have an SI, it's going to be red. Obviously, you can order either kit because, you know, if you want red, you can order red. Alright, so both of them plugged in, you can turn your lights on, and as you can see there, that one's working. They're both working. So let's go ahead and proceed with the install. I'm going to be cutting film a little bit. I'm not going to keep it rolling because I'm going to keep going back to my phone to find the instructions and find where to run the harness and where the zip ties go and everything, because there's specific places. If you've ever ordered or installed Honda accessories before, they are very particular and precise. So literally there's enough wire to run from here over to here, and if you run it the wrong way, it's not going to reach. I've installed a few Honda accessories before in the past, and they are very precise. So good for Honda for doing that. They give you in the instructions precise points of where to zip tie things. Now, since this is a genuine Honda part, it does not come with instructions. These are designed for the dealership to install. So, that being said, you have to find the instructions online, which I did. I found mine through College Hills Honda. If you're into Honda and you're not familiar with College Hills, you should be, because that's a main Honda dealer that does a lot of videos showing how to install accessories, and they sell a lot of accessories. They sell them cheaper than most places do, so I'll link them down below as well. But give me a minute, I'm going to look in the instructions, find a way to route this, and then I'll be right back. One step I missed in the instructions here is you have to install this label. This is for the fuse, so if you install this, it comes in, I think, 4 languages, so obviously choose the language for your market. But definitely do that in case you have some sort of electrical gremlins in the future and you take your car in to get it serviced. They know that this is a fuse. So, kit does come with zip ties, all of them that you'll need. The first 2 that we're going to use is right here, these 2 holes. It says to line up the green tape on the back side with that, and you're going to put the zip tie through, tie it up here on both of them, and then we're going to route it through the dashboard after that. So give me a minute, I'll get that all set up and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I've got the harness run through here. It wants you to zip tie it to here and this other side of the harness over here. That's almost impossible to do. I'm going to leave it for now, and I've got the wire run over here. The other one's right there. I've got it zip tied under the dash. If I can get it zip tied in here, I will. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to, because like I said, sometimes their instructions are precise, but they're a little too precise. It's almost impossible to get your hands in there and get a zip tie, and yeah. So as long as it's down in here, run the way I got it, and it's supposed to pop out basically like right there. I'll zip tie it up in here where it says to. I think it says to put one around here, or around this bracket, I think right here is what it says to do. Zip tie it around that bracket. I don't know. The instructions are kind of goofy. But the next step, as you can see here, is we're going to be putting the brackets on, which are these 2 here. One comes with a nut, one comes with a self-tapping screw. The self-tapping screw goes on the driver's side, I believe. This one goes over here somewhere. So it looks like it wants me to put a zip tie around there, and the wire is going to dangle right around there. So somewhere in here is where this is going to bolt onto on this side. This one bolts on somewhere, probably on this bracket right here. Yeah, there's a hole in that bracket. That's most likely where that's going to go. Something along that line. I know there's a piece of something, I think this shroud right here, it says we have to cut in order to get that installed on this very end, so you can see that here. It says you have to cut that piece off. We'll figure that out here in a minute. But for now, I'm going to work on this. I'm not going to film every single detail. Like I said, this is not a, you know, in-depth how-to. This is just kind of showing you the ins and outs and kind of like a, you know, fun video. But we'll get back with you. Alright, so here's the cover. This is what they want you to cut, and the reason why you're cutting it is, if you can see, this is the light here. It's not completely tightened down yet, but this actually goes right there, if you will. All this does is cover the plug for the blower motor. I'm not cutting it. I'm not going to put it back on. Before you say anything, it's my car. I'll do what I want. So these are the 3 screws right here that you take out. One of them is like this Torx. I don't even know what that is, but I used a flathead. You can see there's a spot for a flathead. The other 2 are Phillips. Like I said, I'm not putting this back on. So this is going to stay completely off the car. The light's in. I just need to tighten it up. And you can see it moves around there. Basically all it's doing is shining down right here on the floor. We're going to jump over to the other side. That one's a little bit easier because it's just one self-tapping screw into the plastic panel down here. So when I get that one all in, I will show you the final piece. It's a bit tricky. Right on the back side here, literally right here my finger is on, there's a little tab, like a little nipple. Goes through this middle hole, and it faces this way towards the front of the vehicle. Your self-tapping screw goes in this hole right next to the little nipple, which is right there. There's a little spot for that screw. It's going to be very hard to show that on camera. I can try and show you on the instructions. So right here, this is the dash right here. On the back side you can see where this nipple goes in and there's a little screw. So this is facing the firewall here. Sorry I'm out of breath. That's a lot of work to climb in underneath the dash of a car. So basically that faces the front. So it's going to be kind of hard to show you. If I can squeeze my way back in there again, I might turn the camera back on and see if I can show you once it's installed how it goes in. But yeah, it's going to be a bear. The other side was easy compared to this one, so, and I thought that side was going to be hard. Again, sorry I'm out of breath. This is a very awkward position, but you can see this is where it bolts in. I've got it screwed in now. That's the firewall. This is the harness that we ran to kind of give you an idea, and this is where it plugs in at. So I'm going to go ahead and install the LED now and go from there. Well, not plugging it in, but prevent you from turning the, see how tight the clearance is there. So now you just kind of fiddle with it until the plug goes in. Oh, got it. Alright. Turn this light off, and there they are. One there. And one there. So they're not that bright, but they're not supposed to be. Otherwise they would be distracting. So sorry if I look a mess. It's, you know, crawling under a dash of a car is not fun. But, you know, it's relatively pain-free, and if you have the instructions, it's fairly easy. Like I said, the instructions I got, you can get them right from College Hills Honda's website. Just download them. That's exactly what I did. And it shows you everything that you should have in here. This is for a 2 or 4-door Civic. So this will work if you have a 2-door or a 4-door, any model Civic, SI included. Like I said, if you get the SI, those are going to be red, not blue. But not that bad. I don't know, in between stopping and, you know, filming and showing what to do and looking at instructions, it's probably I don't know, what time is it? So it's probably an hour. I think I started around 3:30 or so. So maybe an hour, maybe less, if you don't run into the complications like I did. I'm going to reassemble the car. By the time I'm done reassembling everything, it should be dark enough to test it. I don't know how well it's going to come out on this GoPro, but I will try if I can. If it doesn't show up well on the GoPro, what I'll probably use is my phone. Take some pictures, maybe take some video with my phone and see how it shows out. Because as you can see, it's almost dark. So I'm gonna wrap this up. It's pretty self-explanatory. I showed you how to take everything off. It's basically 2 bolts over there, 2 screws here, and this just clips into place. So not that hard. I'm gonna button everything back up, and we'll get some shots of it at night and see what it looks like. Alright, so we're here. It's dark. Not sure how well that's going to come out on the camera, but definitely adds light to the floor, which is needed. So, all in all, I think that's exactly what I was looking for. It was just a tad too dark in this car. They are adjustable as well. If you do the actual adjustment, that's full on. I don't keep my gauges full on because they're too bright. I keep them right there, and that's actually pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully it's coming out on the camera. I don't know. If not, like I said, I'll put some pictures in there.